London, but signed from the New Zealand. Daniel Ilievski and Peter Jaworski run the lines. Adam Batshar, the fourth official. Chris Griffiths-Jones in VAR. So Melbourne City get their chance to put a flag in the ground for Australia. New Zealanders lauded it over their Tasman neighbours in the first 6 rounds. Do Auckland continue on their winning ways, or does it end here today? Daniel McBride.
Good afternoon, Simon. I think there's 2 key omissions from the starting lineup. Dan Hall and Louis Verstrata could be a deciding factor in this game. Big shoes to fill with the performances they've been putting in. But I think Melbourne City, if they can win that midfield battle, can probably take this game.
Steve Corica forced into those changes due to injuries, and he's been preparing for this weather as well. He's had the players in saunas and training with extra layers on this week to try and deal with the hot temperatures. His team is looking to launch an attack through Liam Gillian down the left, and he's done well to steal the ball back off Nathaniel Atkinson, darting into the penalty area. He is such an excitement machine, Liam Gillian. Still alive for Auckland. Into the shadows it goes, and Alan Elliott lost his way and lost the ball, and City looking to steal forward, but just too much on that pass from Kewan for Politidis.
Well, those two worked so well last week, in particular down the left-hand side, Kewan and Politidis. Both teams not afraid to get at their oppositions down their left-hand side. As you mentioned Gillian earlier, he's been a real live wire at the start of this A-League season.
I must confess, I've loved watching him in the opening 6 rounds. I think he's great. Really positive down the wing. Loves to take his man on. It's a dying art.
Yeah, it's, as you say, as soon as he gets that ball, that's the first thing that's on his mind. Can he get him behind his defender? If he can start adding a few goals and assists, he's going to have a wonderful career ahead of him.
By the way, just a talking point around Liam Gillian and maybe 1 or 2 other Auckland FC players. Read this week that Auckland City are, of course, off to play in the newly revamped FIFA Club World Cup next year, worth a lot of money to the club. And there's talk of them maybe loaning a few Auckland FC players for that tournament. Liam Gillian is a former Auckland City player. He might be one they're interested in. And Auckland FC have given it the green light, said, yep, we're happy with that.
Well, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. It's in the off-season, yeah? Yeah, so it gives some of their players some more experience at a high level. It works for both clubs, really.
We'll see if that comes to fruition, just at the talking stage at the moment. Cyprian Fetches the ball back to the beach. Spread wide by Truin. And Nathaniel Atkinson with time to get the head up. And hits Nedin Mehmeti. Seen out by Francis de Vries on that far side. Watch out perhaps for one of his set pieces a little bit later on. Truin driving it over the top of the Auckland defence. Not the first time they've tried that tactic in the opening couple of minutes.
Well, it worked so well last week.
Here's Gillian. Going to have a run at Atkinson. Overhit. Switch of play for Logan Rogerson. He became the first Auckland player to get his name on the score sheet in the A-League back in round one with that second goal against Brisbane Roar. And they've barely looked back since.
They're definitely difficult to break down, aren't they? Obviously conceding only one goal so far.
As he's Bajic playing with a big band-aid on the back of the scalp. And it's being fouled by Finn McKenley. Hope he was shaving the head. Went a bit too deep. Looks a bit sparse at the back there, doesn't it?
I'm sure he doesn't do it himself.
There's people for that. There's a couple of the injured Socceroos, Marco Tilio and Matt Leckie. Hoping to hear from Marco Tilio during our half-time show, maybe find out just how close he is to a return. Meantime, this is Andreas Kuhn. We've got Melbourne City up and running after just 52 seconds against Brisbane last week. Supriya. Again, the long ball. Easily dealt with by Hiroki Sakai. Slightly different role for 74 times capped Japanese international tonight. It's lovely from Gillian once again. Skipping clear of Atkinson. Truin across to meet him. Still Gillian. And a little stumble on the Amy Park turf. Brings an end to that particular manoeuvre. That's going to be an interesting one to watch, that battle. Well,
I was just going to say there, just his positivity there has moved Auckland up the field 30 to 40 metres. There was no final outcome, but they moved up the field, they got Melbourne City on the back foot. If he continues to do that, it becomes just a little worrying for the defenders.
Very different sort of test for Auckland today. Hot temperatures. And of course not a full stadium either, which is what they've been used to over the last few weeks. Sakai back to his goalkeeper. Most convincing from Alex Paulson, who has kept a remarkable 17 clean sheets in his 39 A-League games. First for Wellington, of course, now for Auckland. That's quite some record for a keeper.
He's not bad, is he?
That's why Bournemouth signed him, of course. He is only on loan at Auckland, following the scrapping of the Caceres clause. Truin. First time ball by Cohen. Slightly behind Ugarkovic. City throw.
Needed to be in front, didn't it, Simon? It was a good run from Steve Agarkovic. And Stephen Agarkovic just there said, just in there, please, in front.
Polatidis for Bajic. Kuhn. Bajic once again. Forced to turn back out. Cohen. Flick with the back of the heel from Jimmy Jago. Supriya. First time ball by Polatidis, and he's back for the return. Final ricochet was off Polatidis. Goal kick. Says he's enjoying himself in that more advanced role on the left-hand side. Harry Polatidis. As mentioned before, I think the club really see him as more of a long-term successor at left-back to Aziz Bajic. But he can play both roles.
He's doing very well in that more advanced position. As we said last week, he's involved with Kuhn regularly, causing problems for Brisbane.
Slid into touch by McKenley. To Cohen, and beyond him is Ugarkovic. City up two in the middle. Both were drawn towards the near post, and the cross isn't really of the requisite quality either.
Well, I thought it must have been deflected because I didn't know how it could end up there in that position. It was a great run from Stevie Agarkovic, who tends to get forward on that right-hand side, allows Kuhn and Polatidis to get forward on the left. Made a great run there. And it was a good ball from Cohen as well.
Early possession stats favouring Melbourne City. Auckland won't worry too much about that. Liam O'Mai getting a rare touch, possibly his first after 11 minutes. Just ball forwards. Took a touch off an Auckland player. Kenley unable to control it. By the way, just on this sequence of wins which Auckland are on at the moment, not only would they equal Melbourne Victory's best ever start to an A-League season, they were to win today, but they would move within 3 of the all-time record for a winning sequence, that being Western Sydney Wanderers, who won 10 in a row back in 2013. Back in their glory days. Now, Liam Gillian has stolen the ball away from Cohen, who's trying to keep pace with him, not with much success. Links up with Guillermo May, and it wasn't the greatest first touch from the Uruguayan.
That was a good opportunity, as we see foul. McKenley there.
The yellow cards on debut.
Well, there was another good run, as we see the replay there. You can see just steps in and blocks the run of Kuhn as he looks to go for the 1-2. It was another positive run from Gillian down that left-hand side. Guillermo May just misjudging the first touch.
Ben Abraham, pretty clear to Finn McKenley that the use of the elbow is not going to be permitted. It's nipping away again at the heels of Andreas Kuhn. Well, it's wrestling him to the floor. Just has to be a little careful, the teenager. just to make an impression in the absence of Louis Verstrata.
Well, that was the foul was just before that, wasn't it? Just the little reach out and clip of the ankle. And I think the referee tried to let it play on, but going nowhere.
Politidis. Stewart, Bajic, they've worked this nicely, City. And they're going to get a corner out of it. Good first touch football by Harry Politidis.
That was nice football. I actually thought Aziz Bajic was away inside. Have another look here. Just here, if he takes that ball with his left foot across that guy, he might be going in towards goal.
Chance for Truin and Cyprian to make their way forward for Jonathan Cohen's delivery, which is too high. Back in by Ugarkovic, and it just flicked off the head of Kai Truin. Crucially, not goalwards for City. And he's still stuck on that solitary A-League goal. He scored for Brisbane against Melbourne City last season. He's got himself in a bit of bother here. Squared up by Kuhn. Oh, just behind the run of Cohen. Now Gillian once again giving Nathaniel Atkinson the slip. Brimmer, as it's all been delayed too long for Auckland. They're going to get a free kick here. Brimmer chopped down on the edge of the box. And this is his sort of range from the set-piece situation as well, at a ground that he's scored a few in the past. But Liam Gillian again.
Yeah, and burst forward again, gets Melbourne City on the back foot. I thought he just held on to it a little too long, which put Brimmer under a bit of problems. But you saw there, Samuel Cyprian just trying to nip in and win it. Brimmer gets his body in the way.
Kick to the ankle, which was a sore one for Jake Brimmer. Action stations for Patrick Beach. He'll have done his homework on Brimmer's free kick routine. De Vries there as well, of course. Nicknamed the Freight Train by Jacob Spoonley. Colleague at Sky over in New Zealand. Jake Brimmer just grazed the top of the net. Beach had the angles covered. And getting a bit of stick from the City fans for his victory connections.
Well, they got it up, just couldn't quite get it back down again. And as you say, I think Beach had that covered in any case. Well, there's something you don't see too often these days, Simon. Everyone get up, let's go for a long goal kick.
Yeah, it's almost gone out with the arc, hasn't it? It's like you're back in the 80s. Truin. Oh, it's a lovely touch by Mehmeti, bringing Cohen into play. Jonathan Cohen, oh, and it was an awkward one, bounced just in front of Alex Paulson. A good push away by the Auckland goalkeeper. And a lovely threaded ball through for Cohen by Bajic. And there's the opening goal, Medin Mehmeti, whose earlier play perhaps deserved that. Just his second senior goal, and Auckland FC trail in an A-League match for the very first time.
Well, he was there to finish it. We may not see it because we'll have to wind back so far. But his first touch that started that sequence on the Harvey Norman replay was fantastic. And when it comes back out, they've caused all kinds of problems for teams down this left-hand side. Andreas Kuhn with a lovely run and ball. And there he is across the front of his defender. Little touch through the keeper's legs and in off the post. He's the architect again, Kuhn. But it was that man, Mehmeti, who puts it away. And it was his touch that opened up the Auckland defence early on when the ball got played forward. Wonderful play from the young man.
2 goals in 5 A-League matches for Medin Mehmeti. And this is a new experience for Steve Corica and Auckland FC. That is providing that all the VAR checks are passed, of course. Goal is confirmed. Well, there's certainly no offside there.
It's all good football, that, isn't it?
So, Medin Mehmeti's goal confirmed, and a 4th assist of the season already for Andreas Kuhn. Jabbed forward by Kuhn once again, really well with the outside of the boot towards Politidis. Sakai stretching, claiming the throw, which ultimately Auckland do get. And it'll be interesting to see, Macca, how Auckland respond to this. City claiming a foul throw there, by the way.
Well, it's new to them, isn't it? Never been in this position before. Terrible.
Oh dear.
A wry smile on his face as well.
Yeah, it wasn't the most conventional of throw-ins from Callum Elliott. Just the 2nd goal that Auckland have conceded, of course, after Costa Barbarouses. All that long stint, 8 hours and 52 minutes without conceding to a close. Flicked by Politidis. Sakai. Elliott. Rogerson after it, but bounce favouring Patrick Beach. By the way, talking of sequences, that's Melbourne City's first home goal since Andrew Naboot scored in the Melbourne derby on the 26th of October. Mind you, they've only played one other home game since.
It's 4 games away, 4 wins. Is that right, Simon?
Yep.
Yep.
2 home defeats out of 2.
Looking to turn this one into a win. On the right path at the moment.
City busy in the midfield. It's just a little bit sharper at the moment. Breaks here for Politidis. It's well defended by Elliott. McKenley. Overhits. There is Andrew Naboot, scorer of that last home goal prior to Medin Mehmeti's opener today. Enjoying the sunshine. The players perhaps not quite so much given the heat. So we are going to have a drinks break, and it gives us the chance to ask Danny McBreen his thoughts on the first half of the first half, if you like.
Well, let's have another look at this touch here. We talked about Mehmeti's first touch. Look at that. Beautiful touch around the corner, and that really sets them on the way going forward. Jonathan Cohen, it's an ambitious strike that causes problems for Alex Paulson there. But they do well to recover here, and look at the three in motion. Good little movement. What a ball that is. Andreas Kuhn gets his head up, and Mehmeti makes that run across front post. But here's another look at that first touch. Absolutely exquisite. Sets them on their way. And that's a difficult one, the way it bounces in front of Paulson. And they've worked really well down this left-hand side, these three. And it's McKenlay who just gets caught with Kuhn getting in behind. And I think that's probably a fair reflection of the first 22 minutes. They've had plenty of a possession. They've moved the ball around well, Melbourne City.
There was a slight suspicion of offside, of course, and that's how tight it was. You can see the little serrated lines.
Not close at all, is it really?
Close is good enough.
Well, so that he's the youngest scorer, and is it the second youngest scorer as well now?
Well, he's got the record one way or the other.
Counts if he's got to get the top 3 or 4 or 5 if he can.
Still just 17 years of age, Mehmeti. Signed his first professional deal in July. 3-year contract. Very highly rated by City. Here's Bajic. Ugarkovic. Atkinson. And back by Cohen for Truin. Truin looking for movements. There wasn't really any forthcoming. That diagonal switch has been used to brilliant effect here. Inside the box is Kuhn. It's a decent outcome. Actually, I think it's not going to be a corner because there's an offside flag against Andreas Kuhn.
Well, it's something that Melbourne City have used quite a lot, haven't they? Switch that ball from the right-hand side, a long ball right out to this left wing position. And if there's a little space in behind and the ball comes to Politidis, you see Andreas Kuhn, he makes the run in behind the fullback as he comes out to put pressure on the ball. And when they get it right, it's difficult to defend.
De Vries. Auckland just being harried into mistakes. Cyprian. Politidis looking to go first time. Sakai is a little bit short on the back pass. It's Paulson needing to be smart with the clearance. There's a hint of nervousness about Auckland at the moment.
They're under pressure, aren't they? Melbourne City almost 70% possession. But they're actually moving the ball around well.
Atkinson looking to go through 2 defenders, and he's being held back by Liam Gillian. Suggesting it was the other way round. Let's have a look and see who's right. I don't think so, Liam.
There was a little one at the end there, wasn't there? But I think he was the first culprit.
Stephen Ugarkovic looking to turn provider from the free kick. So he's steered away, near post. All the way back for Beach. For De Vries. Here's Guillermo Mai. Cyprian getting a little too tight.
I bet Abraham signalled it was offside and then changed his mind. Said no, an Auckland free kick.
Sakai. Elliott. McKenley. Back through Pineacre. De Vries. Gillian. Down the line by De Vries, but too far in advance of Jake Brimmer. Tidied up by Truin for City. Auckland to start again through their captain. Elliott. A chance for Logan Rogerson to chase this one down. Straight down the throat of Patrick Beach, but a bit better from Auckland.
Well, it's been few and far between, hasn't it? Down this end for Auckland. Doing a lot of work without the ball.
It's a lovely ball from Jugarkovic. Straight out, first time on the half volley for Cohen. Gillian back to help out De Vries. And the ball's found its way back to him. Daniel Atkinson's got his hands full tonight, or this afternoon I should say. McKenley. Elliott. Is collected by Kuhn then. And Abraham happy to play on. McKenley. Really have a look as to where Guillermo Mai was stationed.
I thought it was the right ball. I think Guillermo Mai was a little switched off and it was on. He needed to be in front, get that ball into feet.
There's the action areas in the opening half an hour or so. You can see Melbourne City very much on top in terms of possession. I think the scoreline is a fair one at the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree. Hardly seen anything at all, to be honest. With that one free kick from Jake Brimmer. A couple of runs from Gillian, but there's been too much joy going forward.
Bajic. It's asking a lot of Politidis. I think he's got what is known as the trade as the Falcon there. Off the boot of Sakai. Purely accidental, but still knocks you for 6 when it happens.
Well, in reality, he had no right to even get that close, did he? He got it right in the face from close range. Good pressure, good determination. Might be just thinking next time I'll just ease off a little bit.
City looking to impose the press, and it's paid off for them. Only momentarily though. Good scrapping by Elliott. City's game plan has been spot on so far.
They're starting to work their press out, aren't they? As the season goes on, they've got better and better with it. Started so well last week. Really applying the pressure to Auckland here as well.
Rogerson looking to break clear of the shackles. City quickly back in control. Ferried out wide by Atkinson. By Politides, and Elliott has stayed down, and Ben Abraham is going to stop play. Just check that Callan Elliott is okay.
I think it's a head clash. Well, it's the shoulder into the head, really, isn't it? He had eyes for the ball, both players.
Sort of went missing a bit last season, didn't he, Callan Elliott, after leaving Wellington Phoenix? He eventually rocked up in Scotland. He had a little spell with Motherwell. Didn't actually make a first-team appearance for them. Season prior was, as I remember, very, very good for Wellington Phoenix.
Yeah, he's a very tough customer. He's in a good battle with Harry Politides today.
Sakai waiting for the go-ahead.
Get ready to second ball, Andreas, up.
Here the instructions for Melbourne City from Aurelio Vidmar. Get ready for the second ball. Never got that far. Kuhn almost sneaked through. Good recovery though by Pineacre. Gillian. Gallegos running beyond him, but he was ignored. Sakai, that's going to be a foul, and I thought the yellow card might have popped out there, but maybe too high up the field for that to occur.
He just got the no more message, didn't he? But they're finding it really difficult, Auckland, aren't they, to play through midfield. Getting meaningful possession facing forward.
Is the absence of Estrata a major factor in that today, do you think?
Definitely think so, Simon, yeah.
It's been a real key component of their early success.
We also had Sakai at right back, likes to get forward as well, which provided an outlet, and Dan Hall could play out from central to him as well, moving away from Callan Elliott, but he's been a standout at right back too, Sakai.
Rogerson looking to close down Patrick Beach. City not afraid to go long, and Mehdi Mehmeti has again made it his. That's really good hold-up play by the youngster.
Yeah, just nipped in front there and made it his own.
It's exactly what you want from your central striker. Cyprian. Unforced error from Samuel Cyprian, which frustrated his coach.
Here he is. Pineacre just got caught waiting for the ball, and he just nipped in front. Regained possession. He's causing problems with his enthusiasm. Some quality touches thrown in as well.
And crucially, the goal. Now here's Logan Rogerson. Page keeping pace with him. He goes for the early cross, partly away by Atkinson, and Gillian can't control it.
Well, they've looked really comfortable, Melbourne City, as we approach nearly 40 minutes of the match now. And I'm sure Aurelio Vidmar was saying, come on, we need that second goal, give us a little buffer. Turn a lot of this possession and dominance into a lead.
Is it something about this venue for teams from New Zealand? I mentioned that stat at the start of the game. New Zealand sides have played at Amy Park on 48 occasions. 3 wins, 15 draws and 30 losses. Last win by any New Zealand team, Wellington Phoenix against Victory back in 16-17. Here's Jonathan Cohen. For a little cutback. That was a shot, I think, by Cohen. Only the most basic of connections. Another unforced error by the centre-back, this time Kai Truin. Lets Auckland off the hook.
Well, that's the thing. You have all this possession, so much domination, you're cruising through the game, and a few little lapses in concentration, and all of a sudden it can turn into something dangerous.
Well, this is certainly dangerous. Andreas Kuhn. Sakai got his body in the way, which made it routine for Paulson in the end. This was another good opening.
Found himself in acres of space there, didn't he? He just does that so well.
So you're watching that replay. Auckland have again turned the ball over cheaply. Truin will funnel the ball out wide. Cohen. Crossfield it goes. Accurately too for Politidis. Cohen with the cutback. Jankovic got there, and then Bajic. Auckland struggling to clear their lines. Now they should. With Jake Brimmer has Gillian left and Guillermo Mai on the right. Sakai. You can see he's just itching to get forward, isn't he, Hiroki Sakai? And City unable to cut that one out. This is Liam Gillian. It's De Vries on the left with the low cross. Comfortably dealt with, but not well cleared. And this is Finn McKenley, who puts it in about row G.
And that might be being kind. He was under pressure from behind. Not the best clearance at all from Atkinson. I think he was aware there was a player coming behind him, just rushed it a little.
City fans not eager to give the ball back too quickly. Shanked up in the air by Bajic. And Finn McKenley was all over Andreas Kuhn there.
Advantage, they had the ball.
I think he's fortunate that they did. Cohen. Gets it back off Jankovic. Atkinson. Oh, and that almost surprised Alex Paulson. Just had to tip it over the crossbar. Something out of nothing from Nathaniel Atkinson.
It wasn't a bad effort, was it? He's trying to bend it towards that far top corner. Alex Paulson taken a little by surprise, but just pats it away.
Futsal style shot from the Socceroo. Whole crowd of players in front of Paulson for the corner, awaiting Jonathan Cohen's delivery, which he puts onto the roof of the net, rather disappointingly from City's point of view. He was excellent last week against Brisbane. Might have had a hat-trick. Hit the post in first half stoppage time when he was on the treble. For all that possession, just City's second shot on target, the first being a goal, of course. Sakai almost got himself in a spot of bother with Kuhn closing in on him. Truin. Found the gap nicely. A beautiful feat from Cohen. Ugarkovic takes it on. Mehmeti's back heel couldn't quite return the compliment. Good football again from Melbourne City.
It was a nice ball, but great feet from Jonathan Cohen in tight areas. And we mentioned Stephen Ugarkovic making those forward runs on the right-hand side again. Looking to combine with Mehmeti on that occasion. He's been lively, Mehmeti, up front as well. He's done a good job in this first half. And there we see that raking switch again from right to left.
Clumsy from Jego on Bribber. And we're about to move to what we're told will be the first of 3 minutes of added time. At the end of the first half. The confusion in the City ranks. They trying the slide rule pass to release Guillermo Mai. Gallegos. Poor touch though from Gillian. City looking to spring forward. A little slip by Kuhn at the crucial moment. Bit to ponder at half-time for Steve Corica-Macca as he changed things around a little bit second half.
Well, that's a good question, really. Obviously missing two very influential players today. They've really been able to penetrate through that press as we see them give it away again.
Fortunately for Auckland, they return the compliment. City, here's a chance, Guillermo Mai. Straight at Patrick Beach in the end. That's a lovely first touch by the Uruguayan.
First glance, I thought it may have been offside, but it doesn't appear that it was.
Good climb by Kuhn against the much taller McKenley. Just tried to be a little bit too clever there, didn't he, the Austrian?
Well, those three down that left, I know I keep going on about it, but they are really forming a really good trio. Bajic, Polatidis and Kuhn really work well together. Overlapping, underlapping runs. Good 1 and 2 touch football.
Rogerson getting the throw off Bajic. It's the 5th time this season that City have taken the lead in an A-League match, and they've gone on to win all the previous 4. Ahead of Ugarkovic, brought down here by De Vries. When it goes for Gillian, has Gallegos outside him. Uses the decoy, but not able to get past the mass ranks to the City defence, and that will do for a first half which Melbourne City have dominated in terms of possession. First 45, and brought a goal from Medin Mehmeti, and a half of first for Auckland, the first away goal they've conceded, the first time they've trailed in an A-League match, and ultimately the first time they've gone in at half-time behind in an A-League match. But that's the way it is at Amy Park. Half-time, Melbourne City 1, Auckland FC 0. We're off to a break. Join us for the half-time show, which is next. See you soon.
It is an offence for any spectator to enter the field of play without uniform authorisation. Any spectator that enters the field of play without authorisation will be evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and over 2 points for further questioning. A financial fine may also be issued. APL is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone. We ask you to respect the players and match officials by remaining in the seat fob.
Whoa! Oh my word! What a hit! And would you credit it? It's Timmy Cahill. You just knew he would, didn't you, in this game? The Socceroos great announcing his arrival in some style. What a goal! Yeah, one of the great A-League goals as we enter the Hungry Jacks half-time show and look at one of very few Auckland opportunities. Daniel McBreen, that free kick from Jake Brimmer that just grazed the top of the net.
Yeah, there was not too much going forward for Auckland. A little bit of probing from Gillian, but As you say, it was lean pickings in that first half. Really struggled to push through that Melbourne City press, particularly through midfield.
City played some nice stuff to entertain their supporters. And as we check out the Harvey Norman highlights, they got their reward, and it came at 18 minutes, Macca. Andreas Kuhn with the assist, and Medin Mehmeti with the finish off the post, which is probably what he deserves for that touch.
Well, that touch there really opened up the whole play, didn't it? It was nice from Cohen as well, but you could have thought that this was over here. But look at the work rate of the three on this left from Melbourne City. Wonderful run from Cohen. McKinlay gets a little bit caught there, and just like good strikers should do, there he goes across the front post. Medin Mehmeti gets there, gets the toe on it, and puts Auckland behind for the first time this season.
And that's how tight it was for offsides. The goal stood, and it's his second in the competition. The half-time stats, well, there haven't been too many shots on goal. Just the 3 on target for Melbourne City and 1 for Auckland, despite all that possession. And whilst there's just the 1 goal in it, Auckland will feel they are still a chance to make it 7 wins from 7. Well, let's take the chance to speak to one of Melbourne City's injured players at the moment. Marco Tilio has been good enough to give us a few minutes of his time. Good to see you, Marco. The obvious question, first of all, how's the injury? How far away are you?
Yeah, it was tracking well. I got back to the team training this week, which was good, and then I just felt a little bit of tiredness in the area, so we'll just take a precaution with my recent history, and yeah, we'll just go week by week at the moment, so we'll see. Hopefully in the new year I'll be back.
Marco, it's Macca here, mate. For the people who don't understand how this recovery works, you say you're back into training. What does it look like for you, your normal day for the last couple of weeks before you went back in with the team?
Well, usually just pre-act, sort of activating the area that's injured, then going out on the pitch and slowly, I guess, progressing in terms of jogging, sprinting, and then back in the gym again. There's a lot of gym work, sort of trying to strengthen that area, and yeah, it's sort of a lot of time alone away from the team, so it can get difficult, but yeah, I've got a few boys in that sort of same period as me, so it's okay.
You say there's a lot of gym time there. You're not on the Andrew in a Boot gym program, are you? We're not going to see you coming back about 95 kilos.
Nah, do I look like that? I don't think so.
No, mate, not at all, mate, not at all.
Hey, Marco, let's ask you about Melbourne City's performance in that first half, and in particular the young man who's taken one of the key roles in the team, Medin Mehmeti. He's only 17 years of age. With all you boys out injured, he's had to step up and do a man's job, and he's done it pretty well.
Yeah, he's been doing really well today. Obviously, he's the first line of pressure for us, so when he's pressing and then everyone as a group sort of stepping up behind him, and then I think with the confidence of the older and experienced players in his ear communicating, yeah, I think really helps sort of him confidence, and that goal is obviously going to give him a lot of confidence. I'm really happy for him.
Now, speaking of other young players who are doing really well, we're seeing the highlights here of the goal, and it's Harry Politidis on this left. Himself, as is Beach, and Andreas Kuhn seem to be really forming a good connection. How do you see him tracking as well?
Yeah, Andreas and Jonathan, all the foreign boys, it obviously takes time for some of them to sort of get in the groove. People don't realise how difficult it can be, and especially in this heat, I don't think either of them would have played in such heat. So for them to continually press and apply pressure in the first line, I think they're doing really well, and on the ball, obviously asking for it and being confident in that obviously takes load off all the younger players. So I think they're helping everyone out there.
Marco, take care of that hamstring, and we look forward to seeing you back in A-League action, hopefully in early January, yes?
Yes. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Marco. That is Marco Tilio as we check out Macca, the Paramount Plus player index marks for that first 45, and there he is, the young kid at the top.
Yeah, well, when you get the goals, you get the glory, don't you? Of course, I see Kai Truan there. He's been hitting those diagonal balls out to that left-hand side as well and doing a great defensive job. But, yeah, Medin Mehmeti, he's been quality up front.
Well, let's have a look at all the fixtures played so far this weekend in round 8. Mariners beaten heavily at home by Adelaide United on Friday. Then yesterday we had 4 matches, and it was, well, pretty much all the way of the away teams. Macarthur beating Wellington, Western United in a 7-goal thriller at Sydney. Newcastle Jets making it more misery for Perth Glory over there in the west. And the match we're going to have a look at the highlights from, Macca, is the 2-2 draw between Western Sydney Wanderers and Brisbane Roar. The first half was a terrific watch. The second half, a little bit less so.
Well, it was definitely a game of two halves, wasn't it? And I think the big talking point that really came out of this game, unfortunately, was the time-wasting antics of Brisbane Roar, because the first half was a great game to watch. Excitement, both teams probing at each other, and, you know, I just found it a little bit disappointing the second half with the prowess. What a strike that is, by the way. The way that moved and dipped to the knuckleball, this angle shows it best. It starts to go one way, off Macklin Free it goes, and he realises, uh-oh, I'm in trouble here. But it was an exciting first half, and this young man, as a young teenager, I think he scored the second most goals for a teenager in the A-League. So we've talked about him ad nauseum, but he is a quality player to keep watching in the future.
Don't forget, the Melbourne Derby is coming your way on December the 21st, 7 o'clock Eastern. We start on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus, the latest instalment of the rivalry between Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City. Before that, Melbourne City have got a game to see out. They lead Auckland 1-0 at the break at Amy Park. We're back for the second half next. Leo Natel is going to have a go here. Oh, what a save from Paul Izzo. And it's nodded in by Samuel Supran. Zinedine Mashash has been issued with a red card. Straight red is Casey Voss. It's the comeback, big chance. Late drama. Nishan Valupale. And Izzo sends Melbourne Victory through to the semi-finals.
Getting ready for the second half here on Amy Park, currently leading Auckland FC 1-0. Can you please welcome the boys back out there at the start of the second half? These guys are going to harp us up. Let's go. Second half, up to 4 away, leading Auckland 1-0 so far. All the second half, 4 points.
Good to go for the second half at Amy Park, where Melbourne City lead Auckland by 1-0, and a change to reports at the break for Steve Corica's team. The Colombian Nader Moreno has been brought on to replace the youngster Finn McKinley, who picked up a yellow card in the first half. And don't rule out an Auckland comeback. As you can see, they've scored a lot of late goals so far this season and picked up a lot of points late on. The longer they can stay in this game, the better. And you would imagine that Moreno's arrival, Daniel McBreen, he's more of an attacking player, of course, might mean that Jake Brimmer just drops a bit deeper to play alongside Felipe Gallegos.
It would appear so, as he's dropped back into that position and got the ball there from the kickoff. But yeah, as much as I'd like to see Brimmer in a more advanced position, I think needs must for the team. And we know that he has played there before plenty of times.
Here is Jake Brimmer. He was speaking on New Zealand radio this week, said he was overdue a top bins goal.
Well, they could use one now.
He had one chance in the first half, didn't he, from a free kick situation. De Vries earning the throw. A reminder of the team use at the start of play today. Just the one change for City, Medin Mehmeti, who of course has scored the game's only goal so far, in for Arion Suleimani at the point of the attack. Two big absentees for Auckland, Dan Hall and Louis Verstraete, both absent. Now departed Finn McKenlay, brought in for his debut. Callum Elliott in at right back, with Sakai shifting to the centre of defence. Atkinson climbing, and that should be the goalkeepers. Forward by Nathaniel Atkinson. And that's a foul on Alan Elliott by Harry Politidis. They had quite the battle in the first half.
I was about to say he's going to have a few bumps and bruises at the end of this one, isn't he, tonight when he's in bed? What a great old ding-dong.
Pineacre. De Vries. Moreno. This looks more promising for Auckland. Jago heads off the Colombian and earns the free kick.
Well, good positive play. And to impose himself on the game early in this second half.
He's already endeared himself to fans of Auckland FC. Ada Moreno with the opening goal in that 2-0 win against the Newcastle Jets. Don't get too many Colombians playing in the A-League. We've got two this season. Christian Caicedo being the other at Perth.
He enjoyed that goal as well, didn't he, mate?
You reckon?
Plenty of celebrations.
Went through the whole routine, didn't they? Corica going through the whole range of emotions at the moment as he looks to turn this around. Guillermo Mai wrapped his boot even around it, and still there potentially. Liam Gillian, did he want too many touches? City scramble the ball upfield. Pineacre. Gallegos. There's a foul on the edge of the box. Liam Gillian just a little bit too quick. It's been a good start to the second half for Auckland. Clear body check by Steven Ugarkovic.
Well, they're winning a little bit of the rough and tough stuff in midfield, aren't they? They're winning the battle there. Getting plays facing forward, and it's getting them on the front foot.
Well, is this the moment for Jake Brimmer? Might not suit the right-footed Brimmer. Francis de Vries might be favoured here from this particular angle.
I think Jake Brimmer might have something to say about that, though. I'm sure he'll still fancy himself from here.
Marcus de Vries has one goal already this season, also against the Newcastle Jets. Alan Elliott offering an opinion. It is going to be de Vries. And not even a corner at the end of it. Disappointing for Auckland.
Well, I'm intrigued of what Callan Elliott thought he was coming in to tell them just before they took it. And he got it up and over, not the direction.
Auckland have scored in every game so far this season. City will know that, and that they need the cushion on the second goal. Mini game of head tennis is over. Guillermo Mai. Brimmer. De Vries. Mai able to turn forward. Really good steal by Cohen. And a good win back by de Vries. They've come out to scrap and claw their way back into this game, Auckland.
Yeah.
Start of the second half. A little bit more intensity required, and it's being delivered. This is Gallegos. Gillian. Rogerson. Sakai back for Pineacre. De Vries. Spotted the wide open space on the right. Corner. Half a shout for handball. Not overly convincing. I think it did strike the arm, but well tucked into the body by Aziz Beich. There's the Auckland fans. Splendid in their home blue and black stripes. About to watch their club's first corner, which de Vries delivers. And it's in! Guillermo May at the near post. Auckland all square. And the Uruguayan pounces at the near post. And now those travelling fans can celebrate.
Well, we did say that Auckland had started the second half the better. It's a wonderful ball in on the Harvey Norman replay, and Guillermo Mai just strolls into the near post area, unmarked, unchecked, and has the easiest job of glancing it in from all of 2 yards. And for all of Melbourne City's dominance and possession in the first half, they find themselves level, and you must say that is some poor defending. It's a wicked delivery. But Aurelio Vidmar will not be happy with the freedom that that man had that close to his goal.
Yep, nobody tracked the run. And we're back level. And it's the Uruguayan-born player on target at Amy Park. And no, it's not Bruno Fornaroli at this venue. It's Guillermo Mai.
We had spoke earlier about Melbourne City needing that second goal with all the dominance they had, and you just felt the way that Auckland started the second half that there was something brewing.
Andreas Kuhn. Look at those possession stats, almost the exact opposite of the opening stages of the first half. Put a bit of rocket fuel in our half-time cup of tea. Oh, given away though by Alex Paulson. And Cohen has his effort blocked by Nando Pineacre. That could have all gone horribly wrong in a moment for the league leaders. And they're still on the back foot here. Bayic's delivery. Seen out for a throw by Francis de Vries. What was Paulson thinking here?
Well, he just got it all wrong, didn't he? To be fair, they recovered pretty well.
It's going to be a City corner. A little spell of City pressure has been brought about by that error in possession by the Auckland keeper. Let's see if City can score from a corner. Goes the signal. Andreas Kuhn's been bumped and barged around inside that 6-yard box. Good take. Good release from Alex Paulson. Scraps picked up here by Jonathan Cohen. He's gone down in a heap after being challenged by Moreno. It seemed to be an awful lot in that. That's clearly a painful one.
I think he might have just come down on his toe. There it is, they really hurt.
Yeah, that does hurt.
That was me curling my toes up in my shoes as we watch it. That'll be sore for a while.
There's nothing worse than a bruised toe, is there?
I had a conversation with someone this morning about that to this day, I've been retired years and I still, if anyone walks near my toes, I curl them up.
Well, he might not look it, but I'm sure he's a lot happy with how his team has started this half.
Well, we were just saying before that, Alex Paulson error. Maybe there was a bit of a rocket thrown in at half-time. I wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot more urgency about them in this second half. Not only in the way that they've moved the ball about, but in challenges, getting the second ball. Yeah.
A little, perhaps too passive in the first half. It's a little check on Cohen there, who stayed down. Cohen continues, but overran it. And Cohen is still down. And Abraham not of a mind to stop the play. Is that going to run out for a corner? Not quite. Cohen was just body checked, it seemed to me here. Yeah. Elliott's the offender. Oh dear. There's a bit of blood dripping from the mouth of the Austrian as well. That was heavy contact.
Yeah. Cameron Elliott came from his blind side and ran across him. Not seeing him coming as we see confirmation of the yellow card. No time to brace himself either, didn't see him coming. Face first into the shoulder.
It's the City substitutes bench, or at least some of them warming up. Among them Zane Schreiber and Arion Suleimani, Ben Mazzio, Alvin Ramadi, German Ferreira. Running repairs for Andreas Kuhn. He's really seemed to have found his feet over the last few weeks in the A-League. Ditto Jonathan Cohen.
Yeah. This man in particular, he's very sensational. Really growing into himself. Getting that understanding with his teammates.
Checking that all the teeth are still intact. carries. Well read by Atkinson. Kewen. It's good strength initially, but extra determination from Auckland has paid off. They've just been much sharper, much more aggressive in the challenge.
Well, that was a perfect example, wasn't it? Just when he turned, he got pressure from one side, but then all of a sudden there was 3 or 4 black shirts around him, and he had nowhere to go.
Fascinating final half an hour ahead. Unforced error. From Kewen. It's a handy release. Moreno tracks it down. He was offside.
Killer, that one, isn't it? Let's see, across the line.
City fans doing their best to try and lift their team. Anywhere near as dominant start of the second half.
Well, it's been a complete reversal, hasn't it? City now unable to play through midfield. They tried to turn, they're under pressure.
Heinecker. Sakai. Elliott. Beyond him is Rogerson, who then sort of ran into Aziz Bajic, who I don't think was best pleased with that. Tried to give him a bit of a cuddle, and as is said, not with me, sunshine. Does Aurelio Vidmar go to his bench to try and turn things around?
Well, that's what the discussion seems to be right now. It's just gone a bit flat.
Gideon felt the full weight of that and has remained prone on the turf. That's how it happens. Shoved over.
Another stomp on the foot, was it?
There's the Auckland replacements, including former Melbourne City player Scott Galloway. Tommy Smith, of course, the big defender, nicknamed the closer. Comes on for the last 10-15. If you are a betting man at the moment, money would probably be on Auckland at the moment to win it from here. Just the way things have unfolded so far.
They also don't mind a late goal.
Good win in the air by Mai. Gillian gets rid of Atkinson and fires over the top of the bar.
Well, he's very busy, isn't he? He's in behind. A little lucky there maybe, but still found the space inside the box and gets a strike away. And you're right, Simon. The tide does seem to have really well and truly turned. Steve Corica will be really happy with the second half performance.
Netti was handled by Heinecker.
few shouts for a yellow card.
It's a lovely touch. Politidis has shown us a few of those so far this afternoon. Not as many in the second half, though. Heinecker, well anticipated by Cohen. Good release too. Politidis down the left. Cohen in position for the return. Goes for the low cross. Swept away to safety by Sakai. Protected by Kuhn. Supriyan joining in with the attack. Ugarkovic. This is better from City. Kuhn held up. Breaks for Jonathan Cohen.
LH.
Maybe row P. Change for Melbourne City. Mazio, who had an assist off the bench last week against Brisbane for Stephen Ugarkovic's goal, is going to be withdrawn. It's going to be introduced, rather, in place of Harry Politidis. And James Jago also has his number called. Zane Schreiber will be his replacement in midfield.
Really, Vidmar looking to inject some enthusiasm. They've been a little flat this second half. Schreiber a little bit of steel in that midfield. Yeah, a little bit going forward as well.
Mazio quickly into the action. Schreiber too. Ugarkovic. Cohen. Midway points of the second half. And Ugarkovic has stolen in behind. Big chance for City. And Stephen Ugarkovic was just about to celebrate his fourth of the season. But then up popped the offside flag. And Auckland are reprieved.
A little close, didn't it? Very close. Well, yeah, you can see there he's gone just a little too early. It was a wonderful ball. Finish wasn't too bad either, but all to no avail.
He's popped up with some pretty useful goals this season, Stephen Ugarkovic, and they thought just for a brief moment that was another one. Not to be for City. Pending the VAR check, but pretty certain this one will be rubbed off.
Well, I think that'll be a little bit of a warning sign for Auckland too. It was a very high and flat line, wasn't it? And they need to get that right.
Yeah, offside called and drinks called as well. So a bit to chew on for Aurelio Vidmar. Might be quite glad of this break, even though they've just had a goal ruled out, because Auckland have been the better side since the restart.
Well, they definitely have. He said maybe a bit of fire was spat at half-time to wake them up. They've been a lot better in their press. And that is a lot closer than it looked, isn't it?
It's that back foot, isn't it,
yeah,
of De Vries that makes it a tight call, but the on-field call stands. Good finish by Ugarkovic.
We mentioned that he makes those runs forward on that right-hand side. Got himself 3 goals. Doesn't get so far this season. Doesn't really get many, but starting to find his scoring boots by getting forward. And they're the kind of runs that bear fruit.
Well, let's have a look at Guillermo Mai's equaliser, which arrived from Auckland's first corner of the game, whipped into the near post. And nobody tracking that run for City.
Not at all. It was a wonderful ball in, wasn't it? good tail, good whip on it. He had the easiest task, unmarked, a couple of yards out. And on balance of the game, you'd probably say that the score reflects how it's panned. Really changed the second half, haven't they? Football amazes me at times how one team can be so dominant, control an area of the game so much, but then they come out the second half and it completely flips.
Well, Auckland maintaining their record of having scored in every game so far this season. And we are fast approaching the final quarter of an hour when seemingly they come into their own and find late goals to win games. Let's see if Melbourne City are going to fall for the same three-card trick. There's befallen quite a few A-League teams so far this season already. Looked like handball by Brummer, confirmed. Driven back initially by Rogerson. He's really trying to shake him off. Couldn't quite do so in the end. Truin.
Well, where was this press in the first half from Auckland? They sat, didn't they really? They sat back.
That's the handball some moments earlier by Jake Brimmer, and then the little push by Hiroki Sakai. It's probably not been that far upfield all game. It sort of underlines your point that the press has been much better employed in the second half.
It's been more aggressive higher up the field as well.
Atkinson. Truin. Time by Mazzio to perhaps catch Mehdi Mehmeti a little bit by surprise. It's a foul. This time by Vigarkovic. De Vries. Brimmer. Worked wide by Gallegos. Moreno, well, that's clever. The two South Americans combining. Gallegos looking for the cutback, and there was a player on the top of the penalty box for Auckland, but so too for City with Zane Schreiber.
Well, this was lovely play here and behind. And now he's got time to pick his pass. And Schreiber saw the eyes, held his ground.
Auckland got their equalising goal from a corner. Could they go in front from this one? Brimmer into the near post again. Wicked delivery. De Vries, free header, 2-1. And it's Nader Moreno, the Colombian. And Auckland have done it again. The league leaders showing true mettle in their first true away game in Australia. And are they about to go 7 straight?
Well, what about the delivery in the Harvey Norman replay? First on this one is almost a carbon copy of the first goal. And as the ball comes back out, Brimmer just lays it off. And look at that. That is an absolute peach of a cross. And Marino can't believe his luck. Unmarked on the 6-yard. 3 yards out again. Aurelio Vidmar will be asking questions, but the delivery was fantastic. And away he goes to celebrate with the travelling fans. And they've turned this one around.
His second goal in the competition after being brought on as a second half substitute. And you've got to take your hat off to Steve Corica and his team. We are top of the league is the chant from the Auckland supporters. And they speak the truth. I'm just going through the checks here. Oh, hang on.
Offside position.
Wow. Offside. High drama. Let's have another look.
Okay, I'm unsure.
I'm not sure it's Moreno. Is it the player in front of him that is interfering with the play by obstructing the keeper from coming out to gather the ball? Is that the interpretation? Well, that's hugely controversial. Thoughts, Macca?
Well, I'd like to see it again, which I'm sure we will shortly when we get an opportunity.
Here's Ben Mazzio. Back at 1-1. City have been thrown a lifeline. Chris Griffiths-Jones in VAR today, ruling that that goal should not stand from Nader Moreno. Let's go again, Macca. And that's the first delivery from the corner.
Yeah.
Is it Brimmer who's offside?
As the ball comes back to Brimmer from, maybe that's, is it saying it came off the attacker's head into the into the keeper who punched it away, and that still means he's in an offside position? Because I did see the action from Ben Abraham of the keeper punching. We'll get a statement after, hopefully. So we think it's Brimmer.
If only we could hear those conversations.
Well, yeah, I know, we would love to.
This is his live ladder as it stands. If it finishes 1-1, then Auckland will stay top, but their 6-game winning streak will be over.
Well, they can keep singing we are top of the league, because they still are.
The ball had gone out before the breeze could retrieve it. Atkinson's throw. Knocked on by Kewitt. Oh, the back pass! Oh, disaster for Auckland! Nando Pineacre, who was the hero last week against Wellington Phoenix, with the back pass that Alex Paulson could not control. Maybe he got a bobble. And in the blink of an eye, from thinking they were 2-1 down Melbourne City, all of a sudden they lead 2-1. Football can be a crazy, crazy game.
Well, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Out of nothing on the Harvey Norman replay, the ball goes back, and then he just gets it all wrong, Alex Paulson. He's been the hero for them so often this season already. And he just gets it wrong, doesn't he? Maybe he is a little bobble. Maybe I'm being a little kind. Yeah, it does bobble, doesn't it? Just as he goes to put his left foot out, it just hits a patch of grass, and that's a cruel bounce. And you could go back to the old saying of don't pass it back in front of the goals, but you're not expecting that, are you?
Well, he's been so good, Alex Paulson. He doesn't make too many errors. But that's a big one. And how a game of football could turn on its head in the space of a minute or two. Madness.
That's why we love football, isn't it? I'm sure Steve Corica's not loving it at the moment, but There's still plenty of time left for Auckland here.
And we have seen, I mean, that sort of a goal has happened many times before when the goalkeeper just gets a little bobble. Paul Robinson comes to mind for England many years ago. Peter Enkelman in the Premier League for Aston Villa, I think in a Birmingham derby, which possibly made it worse. Alex Paulson, the latest to fall victim to the dreaded bobble, the back pass bobble. And 2 minutes ago, we were talking about 7 wins straight. Now, Auckland are staring down the barrel of their 6-game winning streak coming to an end.
Well, would Melbourne Victory be looking at this and saying, come on City, we want to keep our record? Or is that a stretch too far?
That is for Victory fans to answer. They'll get their turn against Melbourne City next week in that big Melbourne derby. Auckland have a home game against Western United. They've shown plenty in this second half and they're by no means out of this contest. Driven away by Atkinson. Away races Liam Gillian. Azio got that goal side quickly. Squared up by Gallegos. The Chilean threaded the needle there. I just don't think Gillian was expecting it to come to him.
We just got confirmation through our producer from the referees that when that ball came back out to Brimmer, he was in an offside position. Yeah, there we go.
It's going to be a double change here for Melbourne City. Arion Suleimani to replace Edin Mehmeti. And Jonathan Cohen is also going to take his lead to be replaced by Callum Tolman, which you would imagine means Nathaniel Atkinson pushing a little bit further forward. We're also going to see a change, 3 changes I think, for Auckland. Scott Galloway on for Francis de Vries. Liam Gillian has his number called. Max Marta to take his position. We've also seen Lewis Toomey enter the field of play. We'll confirm for whom just as soon as we can. There we go, Jake Brimmer is the man who makes way. So all change for both coaches as we enter the final stages of what's been an enthralling contest between these two.
It's been a very entertaining match of football.
Now does Pineacre risk the back pass? Alex Paulson much more safe and secure that time. I know there wasn't as much pace on that one. I guess that is the problem when you play the back pass with a bit of pace. You can always rear up a little bit. Right through it, top of our Paramount Plus player index. With Guillermo Mai in second. And now departed Jonathan Cohen making up the top 3. Sakai cross fields, a fraction high, but Galloway brought it down well and earns his team a corner. City have struggled to defend these in the second half. Thirsty work for Steve Corica and his team on a hot afternoon in Melbourne. Well, I thought Jack Brimmer's number had been called, but he is still on the park and he's about to deliver the corner, which is an awkward one, and it very nearly sneaked in again at the back post. Goodness me, City have had real problems defending those set pieces. And that was a fraction away. It was Moreno again at the back post. Probably should have scored.
Yeah, I think he just misjudged it, didn't he? It just dipped on him at the end.
Auckland throw off the head of Callum Talbot. Galloway's launch. Mata. Gets it back. Comes the cross from Galloway. Ball still alive for Elliott, who then commits the foul on Aziz Bajic.
Some good battles out there today. Some 1v1 battles. It's fair to say that Aziz Bajic wasn't too happy with that one.
Callum Elliott, of course, on a yellow card. It's feeling the back of the hamstring. Aziz Bajic. Still doesn't look too happy. Marco Tilio and Matt Leckie watching on in the stands. Is there about to be one more twist in this seesaw contest? Comes the cross, it's not a bad one, and Heineker steers it away to safety. Picked up by Ugarkovic, looking to set himself for a shot. Recycled through Schreiber. That was ambitious from long range. Mazio with the attempt. Sure, Auckland deserved to lose this game on the strength of their second half showing, Macca, but that's the reality at the moment.
No, I agree with you, Simon. They have really flipped this game in the second half. Just an unfortunate error.
Schreiber. Just a little too strong for Ben Mazio. Beach out to claim. And Auckland's 100% record, fair to say now, hanging by a thread. Good scrapping by Max Marta. Turn ball for him, was just left a little short by Toomey. Have a A late change. Alan Elliott, who looked a little proppy with that last piece of action. His ball forward looked very tired. So Tommy Smith on for what remains of the game.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
And he looks like he's going to go up front as a target man.
I remember him doing something similar, I think, for MacArthur at the back end of last season. During his little spell there, scored the winner against Adelaide United away from home.
Well, you posed the question when they went down 1-0 Auckland, how will they react? Well, we've seen this second half, the reaction has been fantastic. You're not going to let teams walk away with any results. They have to scrap and fight for it. Still 6 or 7 minutes left in this match to get something out of it.
Sent long by Pineacre. Prime in the air by Atkinson. Seen out by Schreiber. City anxious to protect the league that they've built for themselves, with a big helping hand from Auckland. Chance for City to spring forward. Mazzio. Suleimani alongside. Here it is, Arion Suleimani going to cross it, and Callum Talbot, who's never scored in the A-League, was just centimetres away from sealing the points for City.
Well, I'm still not sure if it was a strike or it was a cross. Either way, it sort of got in between. It's neither here nor there.
Is Alex Paulson's mistake from Nando Pineacre's back pass going to prove decisive? No time to waste now for the league leaders. By Schreiber. I think it was a genuine attempt to go for the ball, but he was nowhere near it. He made the connection instead with Tommy Smith. Yeah.
Well, there was definite connection, wasn't there? There was the delay in Smith going down.
You're not convinced by my description, are you?
It was a foul. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Just thought there was a delay in the reaction. You could hear it.
It's produced this free kick. And already Vidmar watching on. Jake Brimmer has to get the delivery absolutely right. Not quite. Touch by Galloway. Good trip right on the edge of the box. Frustration for Aurelio Vidmar. Daniel Atkinson on Guillermo Mai. I think there's no doubt about who's going to take this one. This is going to be Jake Brimmer aiming for the top corner. Tired-looking challenge.
Well, it's a silly foul, wasn't it? And that's why Aurelio Vidmar's raging, because he was going away from goal. There's only a two-man wall here.
Try and sneak it in that top corner. Oh, it's gone through the goalkeeper's gloves. Absolutely extraordinary. Nader Moreno does have his goal now. We thought for all money it was going to be Jake Brimmer. Instead it was the Colombian with power, with precision, and it was too hot to handle for Patrick Beach. And I think on the balance of play in the second half, Auckland have deserved that equaliser.
Well, in the Harvey Norman replay, we'll see it's just another goalkeeper error, isn't it? He gets it totally wrong. It's coming too quick. And it's past him before he even realises. He hits it with good pace, but it's straight down the middle, straight to Patrick Beach, and it's straight through the fingers. And look what it means. They have a habit of scoring late goals. Well, there's another one to add to the tally.
Well, he was denied one by an offside flag against Jake Brimmer in the 74th minute. But in the 95th, it's the late show again for Auckland FC. Perhaps to preserve their unbeaten record this season. They may not win today, but I'm not sure they deserve to lose. What a topsy-turvy game.
Well, we said they won't give up. They'll never give in. And that they had a 7-minute window to get something from this game. Well, there's probably still 2 minutes left of that to maybe go and continue the record.
Ball still alive on that far side. Brimmer. Sent forward by Gallegos, little slip by Mata. That's his Bajic, almost on one leg at the moment. It's been a really hard-fought contest. City probably the better side in the first half. Pushed back by Auckland in the second. I reckon Alex Paulson's probably the most relieved man in Amy Park at this moment. Could it get even better for Auckland? Stolen back by Atkinson. Here goes City. Talbot just having to check the run. And still Talbot. The wall pass with the two-man. Bodies collapsing on the edge of the penalty area. Sent long by Auckland, looking for Mata. Is there a final twist to be had at Amy Park? Like a push by Atkinson. Now do Auckland send this ball long into the Melbourne City penalty area?
Well, that's what Steve Corica's saying. Everyone go, just go.
Let's keep this run going, says the coach. Tommy Smith is told to get forward. Time almost up at Amy Park. Sent arcing towards the penalty spots. Nodded further away by Kai Truid. And that is full time. A quite remarkable afternoon in the heat in Melbourne. Auckland's winning streak stops at 6, but they preserved their unbeaten run to start life in the A-League. Alex Paulson's error, they thought for a while, might have cost them all 3 points. But that late free kick from Nader Moreno, frustrating no doubt Aurelio Vidmar. It entered a smile between the two coaches. It was really good entertainment. Guillermo Mai on the score sheet to make it 1-1 after Mehmeti had opened the scoring in the first half. And that's own goal from Nando Painaka. Seemingly had given City all 3 points, but it was the late show again for City. Auckland stay top of the league and unbeaten. City gained their first home point of the season. Plenty to talk about after this one. At the full-time scoreline, Melbourne City 2, Auckland FC 2. Well, picked the bones out of that one, Daniel McBride.
Well, it was entertaining, wasn't it?
That's an understatement.
Yeah, the quintessential game of two halves, really. And as you say, I think in the end, a draw is a fair result. And two comical goalkeeper errors, really, that swayed it from one way then the other.
Well, let's have a look at the Alex Tobin points for tonight. And 3 went to Medin Mehmet, who led the line, particularly